Oh, now it's live. Well, hello, what's up, Guru Nation? Welcome in to the Guru Nation podcast. I'm your host, Spencer the Guru. What's up? What's up? My apologies for the weird intro thing there. It didn't go as well, but we're new to this stuff. This is our first live Guru Nation podcast. Really appreciate everyone that's tuning into this thing. We're gonna be live here this evening. Gonna kick back, have us a good time, have a cold brew in hand, dilly dilly. For those of y'all watching, it's just gonna be a good time. We're to set the stage. We're previewing the divisional round today. That's right, previewing the division round, and at the end, we're gonna add a special twist too. So I know y'all want to get y'all the info, get all the info in on all the games. We'll go over all that, and at the end, we'll each have a rant. Myself and our very special guest, who I'm about to bring into the building for y'all, Bogard Scott. Y'all may know him as Luigi. He's here having a good time back there backstage, and we're gonna bring him on right now. Bogard, what's
Hey, hey, you know what? Things like this can occur in the field, right?
up?
I mean, even right now, my computer was geeking. I'm like, I gotta just jump on the phone. I don't want to be too late. I kept resetting. It's not like connecting to my Wi-Fi. But I'm like, you know what? Things like this can occur in the field, right?
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I thought I was live. I did the 30-second countdown thing and everything, and it didn't work. And I was like, oh man. So then I just hit live, and then I was live. I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll do the intro thing then. We're rolling. We're rolling, man. We're rolling. So yeah, we're not playing from behind them. We caught up. We're ready to go. And we're gonna be
we make
previewing this
we
divisional
making
round thing.
we making the in-game adjustments. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, exactly. Adjusting on the fly because we're live here. And before we really get into this content, I like to shout out bet.nola.com. All the folks over there really appreciate what they do and what they have me do when we preview and write about all the betting and DFS content that y'all want. Go live betting in Louisiana is about to happen here soon within the next week or two. So y'all go check that
Wow,
out on bet.nola, baby. Yeah, it's about to go live here. About to go live.
that's
I'm
a big
quite happy about that. It's
that's
been
a
a
big
long time
deal,
coming. Yeah, most
right?
definitely. Yeah, because you're out in Cali. Y'all been having it out there, right?
I mean, technically, no, but like, I may or may not use, certain sites. You know what I mean?
I gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. But anyway, yeah, it'll be live though, so where like won't have to try to get around it. You can just it'll be there for everybody.
yeah.
So
I mean,
glad
there
about that.
like sports books, like for example, you it is legal where like we can go to certain places and place bets. You know what I mean? Like there's a casino local over here where you can place bets.
Yeah. We got that right now. Actually, the
Yeah.
Harris Casino and the
Oh yeah.
Burge. Yep. The Harris at
I'm
Nola
I'm a
and then the
big
Burge in BR. Yep.
big fan of Harris. Harris, give me
Yeah.
money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Harris give me money and Miller
yeah,
High Life give me money.
yeah. You know what?
Oh yeah.
Medicinal isms give me money.
But yeah. So, oh shoot, man. All right. Well, I'm just getting used to this live thing. We're just getting going with it. And but hey, all right, let's just get into it, man. Let's get into it with these games. We'll start off with our first matchup, the Bengals and Titans. If I can get this, right, I have one of them little ticker
Yeah,
things for y'all where we can have the
nice.
line and the over under
I
ready to
like it.
go. Yep. So we take a look at this line here. Bengals 3.5 point dogs. Titans 3.5 point favorites. Of course, being at home, number one seed. Guess I could have put that too. Also, but I'm sure most everyone knows Bengals are the 4 seed. Titans are the 1 seed, and the over under there at 47.5. And the way we're gonna break this down, Bogey, and for those listeners, that we're just gonna go over each matchup and who we like as far as like we'll break it down like pass first run. Like, do we prefer who gets the edge, like the Bengals pass offense or the Titans pass defense? And we'll do the run, vice versa, and then we'll pick our winner. We'll pick our winner
I like it.
and straight up and against the spread, and we can do over under two. And
But
all right, so
so whenever I do stuff like this, I like to start with the over under because depending on what we think of the over under kind of dictates what we think the game is going to be scoring wise, right?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm feeling though. I'm probably gonna take the over here.
I like the over here. I'm with you. I think there's going to be some points in this game. You know what I mean? I mean, Joe Burrow and them. They. I mean, I've been saying this all week. Like, this is a game. If Derrick Henry comes back and he gets going, right? You know, so it's Derrick Henry, right?
Yeah, the King Henry, bro.
It's King Henry, and you can't necessarily stack the box when you have AJ Brown and Julio Jones here now. You know what I mean? And then,
Right. Yeah, that'll really open things up, I feel like.
yeah, and then when you really deep dive, obviously they lost Larry Ogunjobi. He's one of their best run stoppers, but the Bengals, they finished. If I remember correctly, were they a top 10 run defense to finish the year?
Yeah, they were. I actually got all that written down here.
Number 7.
Run defense for Cincinnati was number 5.
Number 5.
Number 5 on the year.
I was saying 7.
And third among the remaining playoff teams.
Yeah. See. Okay. So it's the 5th best run defense. And the secondary, you know, they're all right, but I think it's mainly because the Bengals have been able to get at opposing quarterbacks. So, you know what I mean? You don't have to be a super shutdown secondary when you have an active front that's getting to the quarterback. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, and they do.
Yeah,
Tennessee against the run, number 2 in the league, number 1 among the remaining playoff teams, even better than Tampa Bay.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and see, I will say Tampa Bay's numbers, they got a little skewed against them because, you know, they didn't have Levante David for I think the better portion of the last quarter of the year. So, you know, their numbers kind of took a hit just a little bit. You know what I mean? You know, when someone like Michael Carter's putting 100 all-purpose yards on you, you know, that says, you know, your Buccaneers defense was hurt, you know, because that actually happened week 17. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, banged up there. And yeah, I mean, Vita Vea is nice, but I mean, he needs it's bigger than just him. I mean, he's a big son bitch. Like, he can block a big portion of it, but if they go around him, he need like Levante David's a big part of that, and he was hurt.
Yeah.
So exactly. now that he's back now though, so that could help him.
Going back to the Titans though.
Yeah. I don't want to get too off topic.
Secondary, we'll get to that again, right?
Yeah,
secondary, they're ranked 25th, and if I remember correctly, they're
25th and 6th among the remaining teams. And check this out: the Bengals are 1 below them. They're 26th and 7th among the remaining teams. So they're ass against the pass too.
Yeah. And see, here's another thing too is, a lot out of all these teams, the Titans, I mean, like, okay, so yes, they were 25th against the pass, but they were 17 in average yards per reception. I know I'm not saying that stat correctly, but you know what I mean, right? So they're middle of the pack, so they're not really giving up big plays like that. They're giving up a ton of receptions. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? They're giving up a ton of receptions, you know. So dinking and dunking, maybe that's how I would see them beating them. But they don't dink and dunk. You know what I mean?
Burrow's not a dink and dunker. Yeah, I mean, Chase though, like sometimes they'll get creative with Chase. I mean, if they can that, and I think that'll be the key. Honestly, can Joe Burrow and them adapt and adjust on the fly? Because I mean, if he kind of had issues with the Raiders, and I know the Raiders aren't like a great defense. I mean, they're not bad either, but I feel like Tennessee's going to be a much tougher test. And I mean, Burrow, he passed against the Raiders, but that was it. He merely passed. He didn't pass with flying colors like Josh Allen did against the Patriots and Bill Belichick. So I'm thinking Burrow has a little bit of trouble here. I don't think he puts up I think he'll put up numbers, but a lot of it I think is going to come when it's like in desperation time.
And look at this too. This is another thing that the Raiders did is they bottled up Joe Mixon, and then
and the Titans have that ferocious front, so I mean, it's probably going to be tough sledding for Mixon once again. Unfortunately,
then look at this: if you're Belichickian, like, you know,
it's Vrabel,
so it's like,
cut from that cloth.
They're gonna game plan to take away Chase. They already have the number 2 run defense, right? Number 1 left in out of these 8 teams. So you could probably say, okay, Joe Mixon's gonna have a tough time. Jamar Chase gonna have a tough time. Then they're also the number 1 team against tight end that's remaining, right?
Yep, Uzama's gonna have a
So
tough
Uzama's
time.
gonna have a tough time. So it's up to Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins here.
Yeah, and they're quality dudes.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing with the Bengals. That's why I don't think they're gonna get shut down here. That's why I'm taking the over, because I foresee it like Tennessee gets off to a nice lead. The King Henry comes out strong. I think they get off to a double-digit lead, and then Joe Burrow has to adjust, which I think he will. The issue is, though, I think with the King Henry and Tannehill, and well, not really Tannehill, more so AJ and Julio Jones having all that in place. I mean, that's going to make Tannehill's job a hell of a lot easier. And
here's what I'm going to do here. I'm actually going to take the under, because
I could see it. I mean, because both defenses are solid.
Yeah, and
it's not one I'd probably mess with, honestly. There's some of the later ones I was like, oh, I like those better. This is I'd probably not even mess with that. I'd probably just say I would probably take Tennessee. I don't know if they're going to even win by more than a field goal. I was like, take Tennessee against the spread, but it's
and
like,
that's
why tough too. This is one I probably wouldn't.
This is why I'm taking the Bengals. This is why I'm taking the Bengals to cover the spread.
You're taking them against the spread, okay?
Because I think it's going to be a close game, and it's a game that the Bengals can win. So if they win, I win against the spread, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's a close game here, because they're going to try to drain the clock every time they have the ball with Henry. You know what I mean? Like, this is what their game plan is. And then, like, the play action is going to be in effect here. You know what I mean? So I feel like they find times to pick and choose their play action. I mean, it took them a while. Like, they pretty much, the play action wasn't working the first couple weeks without Derrick Henry. But as they got, as it progressed towards the end of the year, and they really got Foreman going, that play action came back. It's with Henry, it's going down. They might fuck around and play action the first play. You know what I mean? Like on a first down. I mean, I would, right? Throw them off a little bit. But I'm saying they're gonna own time of possession, no doubt. You know what I mean? Like
that could allow the under to hit, because if they chew clock, and that's always conducive to the under. This 47.5 over under, it would mean you need less than it would be if the scores. The score would have to be 24-24, which, man, I might have to. You might be swaying me here, Bogard. I don't know if it's going to get to 24-24. I think it could. I think it could maybe be like 31-24, a potential final. I could see that.
But
I could also see like
one team can carry the score higher. You're right.
I could also see, though, a 24-17. I'm kind of torn on this. I guess I'll just stick with my original with the over, because I feel like if A.J. Brown, Julio, Chase, T. Higgins, if they're all eating, that could end up
how about this
ferocious shootout. And if King Henry and Mixon can get loose, that's a lot of star power.
Here's how your over can go. Here's how you can get over fast.
Right? And a turn or a pick six type thing. If maybe Burrow.
This is how it could happen. Right
mess up, or Tannehill get pressure. All right.
If Burrow, if the Bengals can get up fast, and Tennessee would have to abandon the run for a portion of the game to get back in it, they have firepower. Tannehill can shoot it out. I've seen him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially now that he's got his weapons. I think the reason Tannehill's year was so down this year, especially from a fantasy standpoint, I know we've mentioned this on some of our shows with Huss and Peacock, was that he's never had the trio all healthy at once, and now he does.
Okay, check this out. I was looking at this earlier. If I remember correctly from what I was looking at, because I wanted to see when Julio, Brown, and Henry was all together. So the 2 games I went to straight up was the Bills game and the Chiefs game. That's where they had. They
won both of those,
and they won both those
games.
Games.
Yeah.
So, like, you know what I mean. And these are heavy hitters, and I think it's safe to put the Bengals in this conversation. They're not a fluke.
They're not. They check all the boxes. They're there in all the things that matter:
So
running,
like,
passing, rush defense. Pass defense is probably their weakness. But I mean, shoot, they got the mighty Joe Young, Joe Burrow. I mean, shoot,
yeah,
they can hang even if they fall behind.
yeah, and like if they can get a lead, Tannehill can shoot it out. So it's really how you think the game is gonna go. Like the weather's not an issue here. You know what I mean? And you have some X factors like Derrick Henry coming back, but it's like, okay, how healthy is he? How much of a load is they going to give him? I'm going to assume that we're going to see Derrick Henry go out there like there's no game tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like they're going to ride this motherfucker.
Yeah, I think they will too. Yeah,
Like, you know
I
what I mean?
think they
Like
will.
they even came out
Yeah,
and said,
sorry, Deontay Foreman. Yeah, this is the king is gonna reclaim his throne.
yeah, and then Deontay. Okay, say we don't get a 85+% snap share for Derrick Henry out of the backfield, and we get like a 70%. Foreman is formidable. You know what I mean? Like, and even Dontrell Hilliard, Jeremy McNichols. These guys have shown that, like, if need be, they could play a snap or two. You know what I mean? Because that's all you really need for Henry, right? It's like
Yeah, yeah.
say
So yeah, they
say
need to be
Henry
spelled here or there. Yeah, but
Henry
overall,
could
he'll get the
Henry
90
could get
something
like
percent of the
80.
load.
Yeah, and then like there could be like 20 to 25% of the snap count can go to the rest of the motherfuckers. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, because they bring them in a lot of times on the passing downs. Yeah, they kind of.
yeah.
I guess that's the one like chink in the King's armor is that he is not a plus receiver, so they kind of I
Well,
guess they kind of
I want
telegraph
to
their
argue that.
plays.
You
But
want to know why?
he did do better this year in that
Yeah.
department. I will say that. But as far as like the snap
Before he
share, it's
got
like a
hurt,
lot. If they pull him off, they're throwing.
here's the thing: he's not running routes. That's the thing. He's not running routes like a Joe Mixon or a Najee or a CMC or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Nick Chubb and him don't run no routes. Nick
No.
Chubb and
Yeah.
they don't run routes. They'll catch the ball out of the backfield. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sometimes they can do stuff with it. They can break tackles and stuff.
Yeah, there's been, they'll play action to Henry and then dump it off to him. I've seen them do stuff like that. You know what I mean? But and it's really like like you just don't see too many scripted plays for him in the passing game. You know what I mean? But like the screen pass, like Henry's killed people with that for years. Like, you know what I mean? Like his stat line used to be like, one reception for 60 yards. You know what I mean? Like he's that.
Yeah.
You take a screen to the house easy. So yeah, like
yeah, for sure.
But I've been on this mind state all week it's kind of a way of hedging my bet that I'm just gonna take the Bengals because I think that they can stay in the game and like, I mean, I don't even think they win by a field goal. That's what I'm saying. Like if the Titans win, I think it's that tight of a game.
Okay, so you think the Titans win but don't cover?
Yeah, but I also believe that the Bengals can outright win this game. That's why I'm taking the Bengals.
But I got you. Yeah, so you're taking them against the spread, but
I'm taking them against. Yeah,
but it's just straight up. Like if you had to pick a winner, you'd pick Tennessee.
Yeah, but see, and then if I was to switch into gambling bogey, I would never look at Tennessee because the money line's not good. It's not good enough for me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you wouldn't mess with the money. You would just bet Cincy against the spread. I wouldn't do the money line either. I'd probably just. I mean, it's just I guess I just do them against the spread because like even if they the money line, it's like the money line is minus 200, so you'd have to put 200 on them just to win 100. And I'm not that confident.
And I feel like smart, like some of the sharps out there will probably be like, oh, Tennessee can easily cover that because it's highly probable.
Yeah, that's why I'm picking them here against the spread. I'm thinking they win and against the spread. And I'll be stubborn and stick with the over.
It just goes to the game. It goes to the game script that I envision. Mm-hmm. So that, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It's like that's like for me. Like maybe this is dumb for me sometimes. Like I don't like the odds show that there's a lot of money coming in on the Bengals. You know what I mean? Like the way the line is set.
Oh yeah, there is, yeah, and it's one of these ones. I think it's gonna be a really good game to where, like, as far as a lot of it with betting to me is confidence factor, and my confidence factor here is not that high. Like my confidence factor for the next three will probably be higher. This is the one that is probably the biggest crapshoot, I feel like, because I think since he could come out and do really well, or I mean, it's a lot of pressure on them. I mean, I know Burrow's been cold as ice, but this could be the week the pressure finally gets to him. I mean, this is the Bengals we're talking about after all, a team notorious for screwing up in the playoffs. So I know Burrow's a different breed, but it's just hard for me to feel too confident in him here.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you this much. Speaking on confidence, like this is a team that they're riding high right now. A 31-year playoff win drought. You know what I mean? Like they have all the confidence in the world. And then the inexperience could come into play a lot here. That's one thing where like this is a team that's ever since Vrabel got there, they've been in this thing.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're always a pain. I mean, they spoiled Lamar Jackson's party that year, and I mean, Lamar was coming in hot he had all the confidence in the world at that point, but Tennessee got to him early, and then that confidence fizzled real quick.
I remember that game. They go down. Hold on. It was the Patriots game in the wild card first that I remember, right?
Oh yeah, Brady. Brady got picked off. A lot of people thought Brady might retire after that.
I mean, he went. You know what's crazy? That's probably the best way to end his New England career there, because then they gave him this crazy chip on the shoulder, because it was like all people wanted to do was talk about this. The last time you're gonna see Brady, that's how he's gonna remember. No, it's not. He's like one of the best. You know what I mean? He brought them so many titles. So like, he was mad about that for sure.
Yeah? I bet.
Like, watch this. You know what's crazy? I hate like that. That's a real thing. Like, don't piss off Brady. Like, because Jordan was like that so much that he used to make things up. He used to make things up. Like, yeah, I heard what you said about me.
Oh, yeah, Nick Saban's like that, too, at Alabama. He's like, man, I love this rat poison y'all been feeding us this week. Like, it's like, they feed off that.
Yeah, bulletin board material.
Yeah, they use it as motivations. I mean, you can't fault them into anything. It's like you just kind of get annoyed with the media because it's like they always. But I mean, I don't really. I mean, it's kind of, you always want the big dog to fall at some point. And then it's like, but I feel like a lot of times people jump the gun because they want to be the first. Like, see, I was the first to say that Brady fell off a cliff. Okay, yeah, and you said it 5 times already, after age 35, 36, 37. Now he was at the age 45. He's still going to be predicting his demise. You've been doing that the past 10 years. Same thing with Breeze. They would do the same BS. Yeah. And
I don't think Brady is going to let us see him fall off. Like, he's not going to be the guy. Like look at Peyton Manning. Once they started getting on HGH, like testing, he literally fell off because he was juicing for sure. You know what I mean? Like HGH is just, first of all, when you need a heal for major surgeries and shit like that, like of course some type of steroids is gonna help you. You know what I mean? But it also is just it makes you better in all aspects. You know what I mean? Like and when you see, I'm
not saying you're wrong. I hope Peyton wasn't doing that. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But I don't know. We probably won't ever find out if he was.
No. After the next surgery.
But I don't think he was. But
after the next surgery, fuck yeah. The league wasn't testing for certain HGHs. HGH, human growth hormone, that's like better than steroids. It's cleaner. So it's like, you can get away with that stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, he came back from the craziest surgery ever to break all the records. Adrian Peterson, I have the same theory with him. Tears his ACL, HGH the fuck up, and he comes back for 2 thou wow on the ground. You know what I mean? Like, but anyways, I digress.
Yeah, that's what.
Cam Newton that same year, you know what I'm saying? Before they started testing he had an MVP year coming off a bunch of surgeries. You know what I'm saying? Hey, how about this? Tom Brady, just going back to Tom Brady, he's not gonna let us see him fall off. I mean, he's still getting better. He had a career year in passing. I know you have an extra game, but if you take out that extra game, he still throws for 5,000.
Oh yeah. I mean, he was still getting it done. Yeah.
Yeah, like he's not he's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Right, for
You know
sure,
what I mean?
for sure. Yeah, I don't want to get too far down the age rabbit hole here. So let's move on to the next contest. Your 49ers against the Green Bay Packers. And we got another old man in this contest, Aaron Rodgers, and man, he is making even more waves today. He came out in a war of words with the president. Him
What
and
did he
Biden
say?
were going at it today. A video came out of Joe Biden whispering in the ear of a Packers fan. I think he was a woman, I'm pretty sure, telling her like, your quarterback needs to get the shot or something. And it went viral. And Rodgers heard that, man. He went on a big ass rant about how he was like, it's just like everyone's after him, that they're trying to cancel him, and basically took a dig at Biden, saying like, he's like, yeah, I don't know how he got 81 million votes when you watch him speak. Like, I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, my God. Hey, look it. If the Packers lose, hold on, let me get into my
That
conspiracy.
was insane.
It's time. Hold on, it's time to get into.
Might as well. All right, we'll get in. We'll go down the rabbit hole. All right.
No. I gotta get into my conspiracy theory bogey real quick.
Go for it.
The Packers lose tomorrow. The president pushed the button on him somehow. He was like, "We're not." He was like, "If he wins and goes to the Super Bowl, they're not coming in the White House." You know what? They're not moving past this round.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's using that vax, the witch hunt. Like, he's saying everything's a witch hunt against him about not being vaxxed. And it, like, honestly, I know it's out that boycott the Super Bowl thing sounded really stupid on the surface, but honestly, that wouldn't shock me with a guy like Rodgers. That might be his thing. I'm sticking it to the league. I'm boycotting the Super Bowl.
Because they can't test him because, and I know this because, you know what I'm saying, first of all, God forbid any of us get COVID, you know what I'm saying? But like my 8-year-old had it. You know, they told us, we're like, do we have to get her tested, you know, after she's out of quarantine, this and that? And they're like, no, because she could still test positive. They're like, it could be up to 90 days. So that's the whole thing here is that's the way it is in the NFL too. They don't have to, after you tested positive, they're not testing you like that for 90 days. You know what I'm saying? Because he's unvaccinated, he could still right. So like here, the scenario, he might get it like 2 weeks before the Super Bowl, right? He could be like, you know, or you know, he's out for 10 days. Like it could be, you know. So that's the whole thing. They're like, oh, he needs to get vaccinated, and then you know. So the thing is about Rodgers. Oh, if that happens, he would just wouldn't play in the Super Bowl. And then Rodgers, he addressed it on McAfee. He was like, "That's the stupidest fucking shit I've ever heard." You could tell he was mad about it. This was last week. So, and you know what? It's been such an issue. Like, you know what he hates? He said, why can't they be talking about how Devontae Adams is playing absolutely out of his mind, like could be the best in the game? How come they're not looking at how this defense is just like, you know, guys like Rasul Douglas and Rashawn Gary and Devondre Campbell, or all these guys that are coming out and, you know, really making a name this year. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, it has to be about Tovid and you know what I mean?
I mean, the thing is, though, I mean, he keeps adding fuel to the fire. I mean, he always has to.
Because you know why, my friend? He's a Sagittarius just like I am. And I swear that's our thing, bro. We just are not having it. Like, we're going to say something. I mean, you know, like look at certain, you know, publications I used to work with, right? Like, listen, man, when things is going awry, I'm saying something. And then if it's not looking like it's good in the cards for me, I'm out. You know what I mean? And like, I'm telling you though, that's why I believe though with Aaron Rodgers, it's so much about the team. He's like, why would I carry this team to the Super Bowl? He basically said, J-Lev fucking sucks. If I carry this team to the Super Bowl, you think I'd be like, sorry guys, I'm boycotting it. J-Lev, you got it. He's like, fuck that. I'm gonna get it for my guy.
Yeah, I told Jordan to get ready.
Yeah, he's like, I'm trying to get it for my guys. And you know what, man? Just
right, yeah, because it's probably all this. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's probably just one of those deals now to where it's like even if he was thinking about pulling something like that, now he's definitely not, because he's like, fuck it, man. I'm trying to show that I can do this. Now it's he's got that him against the world mentality going on right now.
He won
So
on
that's dangerous. Like, especially if someone as great as Aaron Rodgers. Like, I'd be scared if I were
You know what
your
though? I
Niners.
feel like this is nothing new. He's just actually he's in a place in his life where he doesn't mind speaking out. Because
Yeah, he doesn't give a damn what the
look at
mainstream thinks.
he had like one of those ultimate no-nos. He spoke on, like, remember even last year, the whole thing, like the first year with the second year going in with Matt LaFleur, they were like, oh, do you don't like it how he doesn't let you audible? And he's like, I audible. You know what I mean? He's like, but he's like, that's just if I see the play, this, I see the play going better this way, or however he worded it, right? But then they twisted that up. The media goes, he doesn't like Matt LaFleur's play calling. Like, you know what I mean? And so he's been dealing with this shit on a high level, never says nothing. And then he goes out, speaks on the GM, right? He's like, man, he basically said the GM should listen to him because he's the face of the franchise. You know what I mean? And then so the baby steps went into place. Like, he's like, all right, give me my man Randall Cobb up out of there in Houston. You got to trade for him. Just bring him over, get him over here. You know what I mean? And here's Houston. They're in full rebuild mode. They're like, hell yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they didn't care at that point.
Yeah, give me whatever. Oh, a fifth round, whatever.
Yeah. Speaking of Cobb, he's back this week with
I picked him up.
Yeah, MVS is out, Cobb in,
Yeah.
so we've got now Adams, Lazard, Cobb receiving trio as long as, and then that tight end has been a little better recently. Ever since they lost Big Bob Tunyon, Josiah DeGuara has actually been, if I said his name right, he's been pretty solid. I mean, he's put up fairly decent production. I remember in our playoff fantasy league, I was trying to get him. He was my backup for if I didn't get Higbee, and I got Higbee, so I didn't get him. But part of me is like, man, I kind of wish I'd have got this Josiah.
And he's still out there. I might swoop him because I need to drop MVS now.
Well, you have too many players. You have that illegal lineup right now.
This is what, you see how I'm doing. That's part of the strategy because I had to wait out guys. So MVS is gone. Now I can drop him and pick up a defensive guy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I need one more IDP.
Yeah. But anyway, before we get let's get back to the game here. And what do you think as far as that? We'll start with the over/under. I'm thinking this one goes under because I think both teams I think are going to try to control the clock, establish it a lot, especially your Niners with my local buddy Elijah Mitchell, the Raging Cajun. Been killing it this year, man. That's such a great story from Erath, Louisiana, as a rookie doing what he's doing. Cool? It's awesome.
I posted that clip when we talked about him. It was a clip with me, you, and Hustler were on live.
We're doing the rankings like back in June.
Yeah, and then we got the news that Jeff Wilson tore his shit.
Yeah. And then like, someone has to step up here because we knew Mostert was going to get hurt. Anyone that knows the history of Mostert knew he was going to die, and he dies in week 1.
He dies the first touch of the game, I think.
Yeah. I was like, it's just like, oh my god.
And I think he was explosive on that play too. I forget. At least
he always is, and then he dies. It's like crazy.
You know what? I'm with you. I definitely like the under. Hey, real talk. If this is one of those games, where we can get up multiple possessions, I'm never worrying about Green Bay, obviously, because our secondary is not going to be able to stop Adams and company, and you know what I mean. But like, if you flip that script and Green Bay gets up like 3 possessions, like even if it's like 17-0 type shit, or like 6-23, you know what I mean? Like, and we have to abandon the run. Like, I've noticed in our history, I'll use the Rams game for example. The last time we played the Rams, week 18, we were down 17-0. Going into the half, we score a field goal, and we're getting the ball back. So now we're down 2 possessions. And then, like I said, this has kind of been our trend all year. It don't matter. As long as we're only down 2 possessions, we're not abandoning our game plan. We just keep running it. We came out the second half with the first possession, march right down, and scored a touchdown, and we were back in it. You know what I'm saying? But again, this is why I fear this, because if Aaron Rodgers can get a 3-possession lead on us, Jimmy can't shoot it out, bro. Like,
yeah, it's gonna be tough for Jimmy. And actually, let's go over to where they rank in all the categories here: rushing and passing, offense and defense. As far as offense, Green Bay ranks 8th overall. This is what all for the league, 8th overall, and then 5th among the remaining playoff teams passing wise. I thought they'd have been higher, but
no, they're pretty balanced.
But yeah, they're balanced because against the run, and then the thing is, against the run, they're not that high either. They've been more. They've just been they're efficient. They don't turn the ball over because they only rank 18th as far as running, which is also 5th among the remaining playoff teams. And your Niners actually rank 12th in passing, 7th among the remaining playoff teams. And then with rushing, y'all rank 7th and 3rd among the remaining playoff teams.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, y'all, this number show you have a better running game. But the reason I feel like, I'm nervous for y'all, though, because Elijah Mitchell, as good as he's been this year, he has also had his share of injury concerns. And, they're asking him to carry a hell of a big workload.
Yeah.
And
look at this week.
Juszczyk's a quality, great fullback, but, they need more depth back there, and they don't have it right now. Normally, with Shanahan, it's like backfield depth, that's a guarantee, but not this year. Outside of Elijah Mitchell, y'all haven't had any reliable tailbacks.
Everybody's been hurt.
I guess it's Debo. That's Debo's going to turn into the running back here down the stretch.
After the 2019 year, you know what I'm saying? Shanahan always made an emphasis. Not even the 2019, the 2018, like the Jerick McKinnon injury, the Raheem Mostert injury, Jeff Wilson got hurt. Like, that was 2018. 2019, you know what I'm saying? Matt Breida gets hurt. Tevin Coleman's hurt. You know what I'm saying? And then Mostert shows up. You know what I'm saying? And then he's the guy, you know what I'm saying, that explodes. Then 2020 comes around, you know what I'm saying? And it was Jeff Wilson late because it was pretty much whoever was starting.
Oh, yeah, y'all still have Jeff Wilson, actually. My bad. Yeah, y'all have Jeff Wilson, so something would happen to Mitchell. He's at least a passable option. I kind of forgot about him. I was thinking it was like, Trey Sermon. He's not usable right now. Then Mostert's on the IR. But, yeah, Jeff Wilson, okay. That actually didn't gives me a little more hope for y'all, because if Eli gets knocked out, then who y'all gonna use? But at least,
and you know what sucks, man? So before the year started, and out of camp, they kept this a secret that Mitchell was really gonna be the guy that they liked, because that all the news out of camp was that Sermon's being favored with the ones, but that was apparently not the case. You know what I'm saying? Because preseason came out, and then it was Mitchell with the ones. You know what I'm saying? And here's another thing too, with Sermon. When I was making a case for Sermon in the offseason, is because he's not built like a Shanahan running back. He's a big dude. You know what I'm saying? He's a bruiser type. And I was like, and I remember saying, if we ever had to go into Green Bay, this is the type of guy who would just pound him. You know what I mean? But Sermon never came along, and Mitchell is a prototypical Shanahan running back. You know what I mean? He is
he fits the system perfectly. Yeah, Shanahan, I bet when he saw he was still there, he was probably pounding the table for him sooner, and Lynch was probably telling him, we'll get him later. And Shanahan, damn it, take him now.
Yeah.
And then he was probably wanting him over Sermon, honestly. But y'all took Sermon
we traded up
earlier.
We traded up for Sermon too.
Yeah, that's why I'm actually, whenever that happened, when y'all traded up for Sermon and waited around 6 for Eli, I thought that was a tell. I was like, well, to me, this tells me a lot of fantasy analysts were assuming Sermon would get the bulk and that Mitchell would just be like a complimentary back, but it ended up the opposite. Mitchell's the bruiser, big back, getting 20-something carries a game.
Think about this. In Shanahan's history with my Niners, when it comes to fantasy, just grab the guy later. He gets there 2017, you didn't want nothing to do with Carlos Hyde, but if you had Matt Breida, he became the guy.
Yeah, Matt Breida, right? Tevin Coleman, Jerick McKinnon, all those kind of guys.
Just get the later guy.
Kind of more fits that mold if he can do it all.
Look at last year.
Yep.
last year, the later guy was Jeff Wilson, right? And Jeff Wilson, he did his thing fantasy playoff time. So like then this year you just grab Mitchell. Like that's really what it was. I mean, I had a good share of Mitchell in Dynasty, but I also was like taking flyers on him in deeper in redraft leagues. You know what I mean? But man, in any of my 12 team or shallower drafts, I didn't get him because I was just like, I traded for him a ton though in leagues. I traded for Mitchell in a lot of places actually.
Yep. Yeah, that was smart. That was smart.
I mean, it's just a Shanahan running back. You know what I mean? Like you want that. Like I will say though, Debo, like mixing up Debo in the backfield, it opens up so much for Shanahan's play calling because you could like start off with Debo in the backfield, motion him out. You know what I mean? Then it's empty set, and then you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah, man. Debo, the element that Debo adds is so freaking nice, and then
you can have Debo out wide. Motion him into the backfield.
Exactly. Yeah, motion him. And now you got Ayuk, who's explosive, who can make plays.
End arounds. Like Ayuk is like the receiver that carries the ball for change of pace. And meanwhile, like Debo's like a bruiser, but he plays receiver. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. Yep. And for those of y'all, they would take a little. We've talked a lot here. We could take a little breather and. Just to let y'all know, once again, thanks for everyone that's tuned in. And this is the first ever live Guru Nation podcast. Just wanted to let y'all know that we're finally live. So if there's a little hiccups, it's a new thing for us. So we usually just do this in like just a straight podcast form. And it's usually just me and my co-host Josh, who's with me here in person. But we finally doing the StreamYard thing. And I figured who better to bring on than my man Bogard.
Yeah. I'm always a part of history, bro. Look at that.
Right. Yep. First ever live Guru Nation podcast. But I just want to let y'all know that. But anyway, let's put a bow on this one here as far as this game. Let's do our picks against the spread. Who you got, Bogey? Your Niners at the +5.5, or are you going with Green Bay?
It's kind of crazy that it moved to half. It's probably because
it actually moved down. A lot of the more money was going on the Niners, I think.
Well, because I mean, it looks like Bosa's gonna play. He might have already got officially.
Yeah, is Bosa playing? Let's see.
He was a full go yesterday's practice because today is like their walkthroughs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, looking good for Nick Bosa. Yep. Yeah, he cleared. He's playing. He's playing tomorrow.
Yep. So he's in there. Fred Warner's high ankles actually turned out to be a low ankle. So, you know what I mean? He's going to play. He's not going to be 100% though. And then, Mitchell, he was questionable early in the week, then got in a full go. But that's really just, I think, because even though he's a rookie, you're like, don't trip, son, get some rest because we about to use the shit out of you. You know what I mean? But I'm going to take my Niners because I was still taking them when it was 6 points. Now it's 5.5. I'm still going to take the Niners to cover.
Okay. So Bogey's liking the dogs to cover. He had the Bengals covering in the now the Niners. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go back to the well as far as the favorite. I'm gonna say Green Bay covers because I'm thinking they win by a touchdown or more. And I think the difference. I know JC Money Design brought him up last night on our little debate show. AJ Dillon, man, that dude is scary, man. Quadzilla, he's like the next coming of Derrick Henry. Like he's really really.
And good. Look at that. Well, remember they had made a big deal about Aaron Rodgers not getting a receiver in the second round. What did they do? They drafted AJ Dillon. And
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, trust the process, man. People want to crucify the GM, and I mean Green Bay's been a successful organization. Why y'all trying to act like that man's a dumbass?
Here's the thing, though. Matt LaFleur was the OC with the Titans that first year. They didn't have DeMarco Murray there, and they were fooling around like the first 4, like maybe 5 weeks, like sharing the backfield with him and whoever else it was. I forget who the other guy was. And then Matt LaFleur,
DeMarco Murray, yeah.
No. DeMarco Murray was gone already. This was 2018.
Oh,
So
okay. Oh, yeah.
were
Who was that guy? Yeah. I know you.
because
Okay,
you
yeah. I
got
was
to remember
thinking the early years of Henry. Okay.
Derrick Henry
Shit.
was
Yeah. Who
kind of
was
in the
that
back.
guy?
Derrick Henry was a
I'm
rookie.
gonna look that up, man. Who was that?
Hey,
There,
look
it
at
was some
Derrick,
bum. It was some bum from back in that time, man. Who was that
and
guy?
then
All right,
and
yeah,
then
continue. I'm looking it up.
and so because he was a rookie 2015, Derrick Henry, and he would just share the back, get in there like here and there, and then finally it was
Yeah.
Matt
Oh, I got it. Goddamn, Dion Lewis.
Dion Lewis. There it
Dion
was.
Lewis, man, and
Because
for a while he was okay. In what year was that? Yeah. Well, yeah, but he wasn't the King
he
Henry,
was just
bro. I
in the
mean,
way, and
yeah,
then
he
Matt
was just
LaFleur
like.
was like, Matt LaFleur goes, man, we got this monster right here, and he had. Remember Todd Gurley for 2 years in a row had like the greatest fantasy performances in the fantasy playoffs. Then here's Derrick Henry smashes that. You know what I mean? Then he does it the following year again. You know what I mean? In 20. So here's the thing with Derrick Henry, with AJ Dillon. That's his version of Derrick Henry. He drafted him because he was like, this is the prototypical, like not the prototypical running back these days. The prototypical running back these days, like 5'11, you know what I mean? 200, maybe 210, you know what I mean? These guys are like 6'1, 6'2, 235,
Yeah, these
240.
guys are built different. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of it's a day of these smaller backs, but there's still a place for the big back, especially if it's one that's that dominant, like a King
Ramondre
Henry, like a
Stevenson, bro.
AJ Dillon, or yeah,
Ram-
Ramondre
like
Stevenson.
he's a big guy that can catch the ball too, and he got wiggle. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy because he's the type of guy who's gonna tear his ACL at one point, dog. Because he's hella big to be juking around like that. You know what I mean?
Yep, yeah, and I tell you what, I mean, this is I don't want to pivot too much away from the topic, but I want to mention about getting injured, like Saquon, man. Like, I mean, he's not big like that, but his quads are freaking big. I say quads,
Well,
and I mean, it's
his
just,
injury,
but I just think he just was too much muscle. Like, he was
he was crushed.
cut.
Though. If you look at that injury against Chicago, they crushed him. Like he not only collapsed like inward or the knee inward or whatever it was, they also just crushed him like on top of his shit and busted.
Yeah.
And like here's the thing too.
Yeah, hopefully he can shake back because man, that's so much talent.
Hey, second year after ACL is the year. Look, history will show it. You know what I mean? History.
Well, this was second year after it, right? Or
no, this was first year. This is the first year after.
Oh, okay, yeah, because the year before is when
the
he had
high
high ankles. Okay.
Yeah.
So next year should be his year to shake back. Okay.
So here's another thing that I always carried with me for years because I noticed this, and I just always kept it with me is that the most reoccurring injury after an ACL for a running back is always hamstring, right? So like look at Dalvin Cook when he came off the ACL in 2018, he was out pretty much the whole year with hamstrings. You know what I'm saying? And then Saquon this year. You know what I'm saying? These are just like some examples, you know what I mean? But it's hella common, you know what I mean? And like, because you know why they're probably favoring the other leg more, whatever the case may be. This just happens all the time. I mean, he was plagued with hamstrings. He was plagued with, knee flares. He even had ankles on the opposite leg, probably from favoring it. So I like him next year. He's the third round. He's next year's Joe Mixon.
Yeah, he very well could be. Yep.
Yeah, just that third round value.
Yep. All right. Yep. So we'll definitely have to have you back for 2022 draft talk, which we're gonna get into that way too early here, probably in the next few weeks. And that's
it's never too early, my
Yeah.
friend.
That, actually, speaking of that, y'all stick around for the rant because my rant, we each got a rant. We got the little thing up here. My rant, Bogey's rant. We'll have that at the end. And man, I tell y'all what, my rant I could not believe what I saw. So I'll leave that cliffhanger for y'all. My rant is gonna be I'm pissed about the shit I saw today. So okay, we'll leave it at that. Let's move on to this next game here. The Rams at the Bucks.
You almost got upset just thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean it's such bullshit. This is like I'm normally like, and I like to get loud and stuff, but man, I'm going to introduce this segment because I need to let this out on live. Like I've already vented to myself, but it's like it's all like like I want the people to know. I want this out for the public to see this
Right.
crap because it's just, as Stephen A would say, blasphemy. Like it's just like unbelievable. But anyway, yeah, this next game, Rams at Bucks. All right, so this line moved. It had been 3 all week in favor of the Bucks, and it is now shifted down to 2.5 in there.
Wow.
So it's more to money. This tells me more to money going on the Rams, and that's smart. The smart money coming in, and we know how all these. Oh yeah, these lines. All by the way, got to shout them out. Caesars, big shout out to Caesars Sportsbook. Meant to shout them out earlier. My apologies. All these lines are courtesy of Caesars Sportsbook. And that's where all the big dogs go. You know, Caesar's Palace in Vegas. I mean, that's where all the sharks go. So these lines are as official as they come. Now, this tells me the sharks are betting on the Rams, and I can see why. I mean, I think this is shaping up to be a type of game that's like I just feel like with all the injuries in Tampa Bay and with all the star power in LA, I'm leaning more toward LA here, and I think the over is going to hit because of the fact that it's just even though Tampa's injured, I mean it's still Tom Brady, and he's getting Leonard Fournette back, which is be a big boost. So have playoff Lenny, Gronk, and Mike Evans, as well as the secondary options aren't like the worst thing in the world. I mean they're not great, but they're also not total garbage. But the Rams have so much star power. OBJ, Cooper Kupp, Cam Akers back. And then on the defense, Donald, Ramsey, Von Miller.
Yep, Floyd. I love Leonard.
Yeah, Floyd on the edge. Yep.
And I really rock with Darius Williams too.
Yeah, he's in the secondary. Yeah, because we've been talking about this all week, Bogey, and for the listeners for out there. Let's break down the matchup, because when what we were saying, and you brought it, you were studying the trends, and it appears that the trends are showing that Jalen Ramsey isn't going to guard Mike Evans. He's most likely going to stick Gronk, and that Williams is going to most likely stick Evans.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like – here's the thing, too, is Raheem Morris. You know what I mean? Like, Raheem Morris, he for the most part, would have Ramsey play one side. But, like, in Ramsey's history, this is why I brought it up, because in Ramsey's history, when he's played Gronk twice, 3 times now this year, I should have looked at this game. You know what? He was on Gronk a lot this previous game. You know what I mean? But there was a ton of other, you know, Godwin was there, Brown was there. So
yeah.
I couldn't tell you right now who Darius Williams was on a lot, but I will say though,
Godwin, that's another thing I think that's gonna really hurt Tampa. No Godwin, man. Whenever Godwin died on him against my Saints, that messed up their whole season, in my opinion. I know they've recovered since then, but they haven't played anybody. The teams they played since my Saints, I think, was the Jets, the Panthers, the Falcons, and the Eagles.
They barely beat the Jets. It took them a literal Tom Brady last comeback drive. And here's another thing too, is Antonio Brown, whatever the case may be, we won't get into that, but he could have been the guy that just where everything would have still been no one would be questioning anything. You know
AB quitting really hurts, and I think AB from what he was saying, as crazy as he is, he was just he was basically fuck Tom Brady. I don't need that. Tom Brady, he's not even.
You know what he said?
He's not my real friend. He just uses me for football. Basically, he's not even a real friend. I was damn.
You know what though? Dude, because this is a guy who don't got no real friends too, though. If you think about it, Antonio Brown might, especially when you come from the hood, bro. And if you don't have real ones, day ones, you know what I'm saying? Everyone around you now is just probably around because you got something for them. You got money now. You know what I mean? So he probably lived a life of this now, and he don't trust nobody. And it's the same thing with Tom Brady. He's of course Tom Brady's my friend when he wants to win a Super Bowl. You know
he thinks everyone's against him. I mean, and honestly, and everyone's saying it's CTE. I think it's more I think it's just he doesn't have a good circle around him. That's what I think.
I think it's all of it.
And then he obviously doesn't have a good woman around. He's sneaking around the goddamn OnlyFans models into the hotel and shit. So he don't have a loyal woman, and he don't have a good friend circle either. So I think it's honestly I know we say rag on him and shit, but honestly, kind of feel bad for the dude. Hope he can like get his head clear and realize that it's him blocking blessings. It's him getting in his own way. His ego. He's an egomaniac.
I mean, the ego's is the motherfucker, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
What? Especially when it gets to be because the bigger it gets, the harder it is to swallow it. And his has gotten so freaking big to where it's like it's gonna take a hell of an epiphany for him to get back on the right track.
Gotta eat a lot of mushrooms.
Yeah, maybe maybe he'll take the walk on the Luigi path and get right.
I'm serious.
Maybe so, but anyway, yeah, this game here. Let's go over where each team ranks in passing and running. As far as defense, we'll start with defense here. Pass defense, the Rams not too good, 22nd, and the Bucks aren't too good either at 21st. Bucks are 4th among the remaining playoff teams. Rams are 5th among the remaining playoff teams. A lot of weak pass defenses, but a lot of strong run defenses. Because check this out: Rams are the 6th ranked run defense. 4th among the remaining teams. Tampa, 3rd ranked run defense overall, 2nd among the 8 remaining playoff teams. And in offense, we've got both offenses stellar through the air. Rams 5th ranked passing offense overall, 3rd among the remaining teams. Tampa, number 1. So of course, they're number 1 among the remaining teams. And in running, they're both near the bottom as far as the remaining teams on the season. I know the Rams have Cam Akers back, so that changes the game. They didn't have him all year, and as a result, they ranked 25th in rushing, which is 2nd to last among the remaining teams. And in Tampa, though, despite Lenny, I mean, I know Lenny had a solid year, but they really weren't very good on the ground. 26th overall, which was dead last among the remaining playoff
I'll
teams.
say this. The 2 teams that got to the Super Bowl last year were the Chiefs and the Bucks, and they were ranked 26 and 27 in overall rush attempts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or rushing numbers. You know?
That's like, you don't need to agree. Yeah.
But these are some throwing ass teams.
Right, and that just goes to show. When I was looking at this, it just goes to show in today's NFL, it's like you gotta have that horsepower. You gotta have that high-powered passing attack. You're not fire and brimstone is not gonna win. Just look at the Texans. I mean, David Culley, old school. He did it as much as he could, but I mean, the bottom line is with that fire and brimstone offense, they were not gonna win many football games.
I mean, then there's teams that have the evolution of the run, like Shanahan and the whole coaching family tree, you know what I mean? All the way down to Stefanski and LaFleur. And I mean, Stefanski didn't come from Shanahan, he came from Kubiak, but that's basically just Mike Shanahan, you know what I mean? Just the innovative ways of the zone run scheme, and you know what I mean? But like, and there's a ton of those teams that are in it. Even Sean McVay is an innovator. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Innovative young head coaches. McVay's definitely one of them. That was basically a whole lab of innovative head coaches under Mike Shanahan in Washington there with of course, Kyle and then LaFleur and McVay.
The Buccaneers, the Buccaneers are number 1 in passing, I would imagine, right? Because
they are. Yeah.
And then what are the Rams? Number 2 remaining?
3.
3. Okay.
Only who was 2?
Oh yeah, the Chiefs,
right? the Bills. The Bills. Wait, no, the Chiefs. The Chiefs in passing.
Okay, I had it right. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, you were. Yep. It's the Rams, Chiefs. I mean, Bucks, Chiefs, Rams. That order.
There you go. Hey man, you know what? This is. I was saying this on FNT today. It's like this is like probably my favorite weekend of football. Divisional.
Oh, what? Yeah, I'm so excited for this, man. Yeah, divisional. Even though my Saints aren't in it, I mean, this is just really just a good weekend of football because I can't wait to see Tom Brady lose. I'm ready, man. I think I made my pick pretty clear here.
Man.
I'm pretty confident in this one. I am taking the Rams at the +2.5 and the over 48.
I always reverse it. Like every time I go against Brady, bro, he wins, man.
I did that last year. Yeah, I definitely reverse jinxed him last year. So I guess I'm like, remember earlier I was ragging on the writers for wanting to say a guy's washed up. Well, I'm guilty of it too. I'm guilty of wanting Brady to get knocked out. So even though this is the team I could try and reverse jinx him and pick him to win, my heart just can't do it because I fuck Tom Brady because
I'm gonna say this.
Simple.
Brady is going to have to do it all himself. because I feel like,
and I just don't see him being able to because he doesn't have the support.
I don't think
and Tristan Wirfs might be out, one of his key offensive linemen.
So Tristan, I mean, he'll play,
but he's all banged up though.
Yeah, he's all banged up.
I don't
and their center Jennings, he's
banged up too.
He's not gonna play.
Oh, he's out. Okay, well
he didn't practice at all week.
And guess what that means? Aaron Donald, boom, he is gonna. Man, if I'm Brady,
that is really problem.
If I'm Brady, that interior pressure is gonna.
Here's another thing. Here's another thing that we covered today earlier is even you know who else didn't practice all week? Andrew Whitworth, bro, on the Rams line, and he's the captain.
Yeah, that's the stalwart there. I know he's old, but I mean he holds it down on the left side. Yeah, this could actually. Side, bro, damn, this. I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not as confident about the over. This could end up more.
And the rest of the line is straight.
And I'll say that, and that's probably why it's only a 48 over under. I was thinking, why isn't it over set higher? But I think the Sharks realize all this. They probably have discussions like we're having right now. They probably have a Monday meeting where they talk about all the possible scenarios. I mean,
what was the score of their game last time they played?
It was fairly high score, and I'm pretty sure I looked it up. Let's see, Bucks Rams from back then, 34-24. So yeah, that was definitely what
there was a lot. There was a lot of garbage time. I'll say that there was a lot of garbage time for Brady because it was one of those games. It was a blowout.
Yeah,
because Brady actually went. He didn't throw it. I think Brady didn't get his first touchdown until the second half for real. You know what I mean? But Brady went crazy with the yards in that game. But that's another thing too. Is when I seen that today with the Andrew Whitworth, I was like, ugh, because it shook my confidence on the Rams. I'm still taking the Rams here though, because a field goal gets them this, and they have one of the most consistent kickers. He ain't missing shit really this year. You know what I mean? Will shout out to Will Gay. He was on a couple of my Super Bowl teams, actually.
Oh, yeah. Matt Gay, right?
Matt Gay. Yeah. Will Gay's the linebacker. Yeah. Will Gay's the linebacker that just got the misdemeanor this week. You see that?
Oh, Lord.
He broke all the stuff.
What, who, the Raiders?
Nah, from the Chiefs, Will Gay.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Yeah, I did hear about it. Yeah, they were saying that might throw off the Chiefs. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I heard that on Jim Rome's show this morning.
Yeah. Hey, Jim Rome Jim Rome's awesome.
Oh, he's all in with Bills Mafia, which we're gonna get to next. And actually, I think you picked the Rams, and are you going the over? You're going the under, you said, right?
This is the one where I still like the over.
Oh, okay. So we're in agreement here. Rams in the over. All righty then. So let's get to that Bills Mafia contest here. Bills Mafia taking on, how about those Chiefs at a 2-point spread? Chiefs are favored. Bills are the 2-point underdogs in a really high over/under set, 54 over/under. Wow, that's a lot of points, and I do think a lot of points will be put up, but I'm not sure if
I need to know the weather.
I don't know about that. I think it's going to be good weather. When I looked at,
they did say it's going to be good weather. It's just the wind can always be a factor in KC, right?
Not going to be much wind. Only 10 mile an hour. That ain't shit.
Then we're good. I still like the under.
Yeah.
I still like the under because that's too high.
Yeah, that is too high. What was this? Yeah, because they played earlier in the season too. As a look up,
and it was a blow. It was a blowout that game too. They blew out the Chiefs.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I think that in the Chiefs may have got some
garbage time.
Some garbage. Let's see.
Yeah.
38-20 was the score, so that's a 58. Yep. So that was more than the 54. But I don't think the Bills are going to do that well this time around. I think they'll do well again. I've got them winning. I think I take them with the money line. The money line's actually bet 100 to win 110. So I'm like, I think they're going to win by more than 2. So I think if they win, they're going to win by at least a field goal. So I would recommend here, just take the money line. I wouldn't even worry about the spread. Bills with the money line. And I mean, I do think Allen and Mahomes do get out.
What does it pay?
But 54. Damn,
what's it?
I mean, it gives you extra $10. I mean, it's not a it's not a great money line, but I mean, it's still, I mean, why not? It's an extra $10.
Yeah.
I mean, the only way that would burn you is if they would win by, if you win by 2, well, then it's just a push. And if they win by 1, you'd lose. But I think they're going to win. Oh, wait, no, this is just for them to win outright. I mean, it's the only way you'd lose on the money lines if they lose the game.
You know what?
So
I am going to go Bills.
I think they're going to win.
I'll take the Bills and I'll take the points. You know what I mean? I'll take them to cover that spread. And here's one thing I was trying to say on the circle yesterday, and it's funny because when that
oh yeah, shout out to Huss in the circle. Yeah. That was a fun show. Yes, I actually rewatched it last night. Like
me too.
After we did that,
I chopped a bunch of clips, but then like I didn't get to crop them. I was just hella caught up today, so I was like, man, but I'm gonna post those tomorrow morning, or maybe even when I get off the show. You know what I mean? I posted actually the whole thing where we're talking about Josh Allen, where it's me and you going back and forth, and it's funny because one of the points I couldn't get across the buzzer was the fact that Steve Spagnuolo plays a ton of man coverage, and Josh Allen his completion rating this year was 63% on the year, but against man coverage 69% completion rating. It's fucking awesome, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he's not like, I mean, he's accuracy overall is a tad down, but he makes the throws that matter. I mean, he gets it done when it matters, and he's a freaking Mack truck of a runner. He's basically a fullback back there playing quarterback.
He had a more efficient. I mean, he had a less efficient rushing game, but he had a career high in rush attempts. So it kind of balances it out because I mean, and kids get. Actually, I'm sorry. He had a more efficient running game this year, and of his numbers wise, because I forgot he had like over 700 yards rushing. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then check this out. I'm actually about to go over the offense and defensive totals for each team. Of overall passing, Bills ranked 9th overall, 6th among the remaining teams. Chiefs ranked 4th and 2nd among the remaining playoff teams. But check this out, rushing wise. The Bills rank 6th overall in rushing, 2nd overall among the remaining teams. Everyone was saying how bad the Bills were rushing, but with the Stallion, yeah, Singletary came on late, and with the Stallion basically being a fullback, they've actually got a very strong ground attack. And Kansas City's ground attack, not so shabby either, 16th overall and 4th among the remaining playoff teams. So KC, I mean, between CEH probably back and double barrel Darrell, McKinnon, Derek Gore, they've got a decent running game. It's not great, but it's at least passable.
They were able to. They got a lot of games where like when they blow out when they blew out the Steelers early on, they had a couple games like that where it's like then like Derek Gore just gets in there and gets a lot of work too. Like, you know, but like
Frank Gore's son.
But it did trip me out though that Singletary really came on because
that really shocked me. That came out of left field because there's a part of being with the fantasy community. We love to rag on Singletary, like he'll start running back. He don't do shit, but he really did down the stretch. He came on strong.
He was getting 20 touches a game.
Yeah, he helped win people fantasy championships. I mean, that was a stud.
I'm mad I didn't draft. I was like. I should have grabbed him in it.
Yeah, I grabbed him in the all-in league. I had him all year. I didn't win, unfortunately, but it helped me get by. Who did I beat in the playoffs? Man, was it you in the playoffs? No, I had the bye week. And then I died in the semis. But Singletary helped me because he helped stabilize my RB2 spot whenever the King Henry died on me. And the reason I didn't win is because freaking Eckler got COVID in the semis. And it sunk me, but
someone got Justin Jackson before you. I might have.
Yeah, someone got Justin.
I think I had Justin Jackson on my team actually. I had him for a while. I don't blame
you. You're contending. I mean, it's not like everyone's got to do what they got to do.
He had the ankle injury the week before. I remember that's what it was. And I went and grabbed him like everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, in our playoff fantasy league, I made sure I was on top of that. On Monday, I was like, I'm going to make sure I want to grab playoff Lenny now that he's back because I saw Steamboat had dropped him. And I was like, I'm on ahead of Steamboat. I was like, man, I want to get playoff Lenny. and then I wanted
I
Higbee at tight end, and
I could
like
have got anyone I wanted. I'm so mad. I have the number one. I'm
yeah, and
really
then
mad
Huss,
because that.
and you know what's funny? Huss forgot about it too. He remembered right
Yeah, and
after
then
it went
and
through,
then
and then he
Clyde was
got
still.
CEA. Yeah, Clyde was still
Yeah,
there,
and then
and
he
then he
grabbed
got.
Alan Lazard right at. See, that's how I noticed. I was like, oh no, what's going on?
Yeah, because if you'd have been on before him, he would have still
I'm
got
like,
those
I didn't
guys.
make no
But yeah,
claims. And then it
yeah,
was
kind of
literally
tough
at 9.
front.
It was 9 o'clock my time, like on the dot. I'm just looking at my phone at that time, and it just doot, 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 starts popping up. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
I'm like,
and
oh,
let's see. Can I do that screen share thing? Let's see if it'll let me do that. I could pull up the goddamn playoffs thing.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that here real quick.
Yeah, but I mean, so we're both on the Bills, and I will say
Yeah.
it just has this vibe to the Bills right now. Like these are very evenly matched
Oh
teams.
yeah, Bills Mafia is rolling right now. I just want to show the people my
Gotta go.
team
They're
here.
going on the road. They learned a lot from getting beat by them in the AFC title game last year, right? And then early in the year, they went into KC and beat their ass. Now they
Yeah,
got
yeah.
again. That I hate it when you've already beat somebody that's really good early in the year. I hate that.
Yeah, that could make it to where the Chiefs the Chiefs definitely have a shot here. I'm not saying this. I mean, like all these games.
Just like Brady. Brady already got his ass whooped by them early this year. It's like it's hard to kick their ass twice, man.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm picking against them. I'm hoping that, but I
I'm
won't say
hoping we're
this.
right.
Yeah, I'm hoping we're right, but
Finally.
because I won't say this though. I mean, honestly, we'll probably split. But if I had to pick one to go on, I guess, man, because I don't know. I don't think Stafford's going. I guess I'd pick the Stallion because I feel like the Bills are a true Super Bowl team. I don't think the Rams are quite there. I think if they go to Green Bay, their
I
asses
like the idea of
are going to get
Bills.
frozen. So I think I
I like
sacrifice the
Packers
Rams
Bills.
for the Bills if
That
that improves
Packers
the Bills. Yeah, that's my pick actually.
Packers Bills
Yes.
sounds like feasible to me right now. But then also so does I ain't gonna lie to you, all these teams this is probably out of the 8 teams out of 32. These are the teams that deserve to be there right here.
Oh yeah, there's some heavy hitters left, man. There's some freaking heavy hitters, and I'm loving it.
Like my Niners we went through hella turmoil all
year. Yeah, and y'all deserve it. Y'all are better than Dallas. Dallas is probably the 5th best team, and then y'all are the 4th best.
Dallas was like the best team in the kindergartners division. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they got the participation ribbon. Who won the NFC East?
Yeah.
For the NFC least, yeah, they got their. I mean, y'all. I would say y'all kicked their ass, but y'all handled them. I mean, y'all definitely handled them.
I mean, Jimmy getting hurt in the second half. I guess apparently that's when he got that shoulder sprain. You know what I mean? Like, cause that's when he really tapered off.
That's when things kind of unraveled a little bit. Yeah,
that's when they were like, all right, Mitchell. You already had like 15 touches. You're going another like 8 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause I think you got like 27 touches.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. I was like, that sounds high, but yeah, he did. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, because look, I got him on my little team right here. Yeah, he's one of my key pieces there. We got Tannehill's my only remaining quarterback. A little nervous about that, but the way the draft flowed, I was able to get a stacked skill group. I mean, I got Eli Mixon, Devontae, T. Higgins, Higbee, Odell, AJ Brown, playoff Lenny. Like, I'm in 6th place right now, but I think after this week, I'll be a lot higher than that.
I know, man. Like, I'm in 7th, and
yeah, let's show the people your team.
Yeah, I gotta look up Double Barrel Darrow. That's one person I didn't look up yet.
Oh, look at this illegal.
Hey, listen, man, we do illegal. We do it illegal, baby.
Yeah, I have to take off that Scott free.
We about to get away with this thing.
I don't know. Steamboat's gonna get you. But I know it's just one of those things. To explain it to the people, basically what happened was when Bogard did his waivers, it happened. It gave him too many guys, and the thing didn't adjust. But it'll get fixed before the game started. I mean, just look, he's got MVS who's out, so I mean he'll have to go.
Yeah, I drop him and everything's, and then I pick up a defensive guy, and we're all good.
Yeah, for sure. So let's we'll
But also I gotta see if,
all right.
can you what does it say about double barrel Daryl?
Okay, yeah, let's see double barrel.
Because like I don't
Damn,
expect,
yeah,
I know.
questionable, yeah.
So
And this was today they updated this.
yeah, so that means if he's questionable, that means no, but they didn't say anything about his
Yeah, it looks like
backup.
CEH is gonna play, so double barrel is gonna be the backup. He's
Yeah,
hoping he'll play, but honestly, yeah, it might be. I don't know. The move might be to just drop him. You could
yeah.
put Akers here and just cut bait with him because
Hmm.
I mean, shoot,
Yep.
I don't see double barrel Daryl having much of a role.
Yeah, and then I gotta I'll find something out there. There's still some options out there.
For sure, for sure. Yep, we'll
Yeah.
be okay. I feel like we're kind of allies in this thing. We're both near the bottom, but I feel like we're both gonna we're
It's
allies for
early.
now. But then
It's early.
we might be rivals at the end. We might be fighting it out in the Super Bowl because we both
Hey,
had we did similar strategies. We took a lot of Packers and Titans. We took the L in the wild card round because we saw this is a battle royale to the end. And
yeah.
so yeah,
I mean,
these are
I
the
am kicking
standings
my
right
ass.
now.
Like I'm literally kicking my ass not taking Josh Allen, because then that would have just that one move. But like,
Yep, shout out to everyone in the league. Smoking Jay, shout out. Peacock,
yeah,
shout
they
out
got
to the
they got the
cock.
Smoky J.
Yeah,
Yeah, shout out to
the
Peacock.
hustler, Steamboat,
You know what's
BWB.
funny? Steamboat goes. Oh yeah, shout out to Blake too. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But
Yeah, big
Steamboat.
ups to Blake, man. We got to bring his show back soon, man. I
Yeah,
missed that. I like Blake's show.
right. No, but with Steamboat, he always tells me, he goes, whenever we get new people, they're so glad they found it, and they're gonna and it's funny because Peacock was like, man, I'm gonna tell some of my home league buddies about this shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, right, like because this shit is hella fun. It's just different. It's different, and it's just we enjoy fantasy and this different strategy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a fun way. It's a fun way to keep it going, because it's that hard cutoff. I feel like it's like, well, damn, it's like, man, what happened? I felt the past week. I felt so bored a lot of it. Like, and I was a little under the weather as well. So I was like, I don't think I had
That one,
COVID or
it
nothing.
was
So I was
weird on a Tuesday.
and
And I
only
wasn't
doing a
doing no
mini
waivers.
quarantine, like just staying kind of to myself at home. And then no waivers on Tuesday. I was like, man, what is going on? I'm hella bored. But we
For real.
got to
I
do
was like, it's kind of
playmakers
weird.
and the circle yesterday. So and then Super Draft Pro signed up for that recently. So I've been involved with that. So I've still had stuff going on. But man, it's just a new routine, I guess, a new routine.
Hey,
So.
make sure you get in these get your lineups in tomorrow. So tomorrow,
Oh yeah, I need to check
could
on
choose.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tomorrow.
My basketball's gone to shit. I think and golf didn't go well for me either. So I'm gonna
You
need to
gotta
shake back
watch
in
JC Money and them.
football.
They be killing it with the
Yeah,
basketball.
no, yeah, I need to. Yeah, because them boys, they know their shit. I thought I did, but I was like, I don't think I'm
Because
doing too good.
you know what's dope is like if you keep up with them, and even if you're just making like $7, $12, $15, $4, that shit hella adds up. You know what I mean? Like I was out the gate fine. Like I've been fooling with the Super Draft Pro since like I want to say week, maybe week 10. So we have whenever the Dolphins played the Ravens, I had already been rocking with it for like 2 weeks before that. I just remember that game was on a Thursday night, and I remember I was mad because I didn't put Jason Sanders in my champion spot because he went crazy and he was like a ×3 multiplier. So imagine that. Even on the regular, he kicks a field goal. It was ×3. They don't do that no more with kickers no more. But early on, they were doing stuff like that. So it's like you put him in a champion, you're getting plus 50%. You know what I mean? So it was like I didn't have any lineups with him in there. I lost already. But anyways, with tomorrow's matchups, it will be like all the contests you'll be able to get in. You have a quarterback. You choose only.
Okay, yeah. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna check to see for the free contest. Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
and it says
from
free.
The Saturday game.
It says free because
we subscribe. So yeah.
Yeah, because this is from your subscription.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
how I'm
and then
getting to
the other ones
play.
are cash games, but
Yeah, honestly, I'll probably just cancel the subscription once it goes live, and then I'll just play
yeah.
cash games.
Well, yeah, because Louisiana's about to switch, right?
Yeah, yeah, so yeah, once it
Yeah,
then I'll just play
and
cash games. I'll probably, I mean, as a
yeah,
subscription, because the subscription so far has not treated me well. As of now, I'm out $100, but hopefully I can win big in these football
yeah. Hey,
contests.
look at man. When I first signed
So I
up,
still got time. I'm not giving up yet, but it was off to a rough start. 'Cause, I mean, well, golf, I don't know shit about golf, and in basketball, I thought I did, but I almost made the money in one of the contests. I just looked,
yeah, just
but
make sure you fill out all these contests because it's basically like you paid $3 a day and you have these contests every day. You have a chance to make money every day.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna keep trying. Yeah, until so I
And then
signed up in the middle of January, so it's a month. It's a month at a time. It'll be good till the middle of
yeah, and
February.
then yeah, exactly.
And
So
is
you'll
it
have this all
okay?
through the Super Bowl, everything. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, for sure. And is it like, do you have to renew it each month, or do you have to?
Yeah, I mean, well, look at this. You have if
Okay,
you're
well, yeah,
gonna come,
we can talk about this off
yeah,
there. I'm sure people don't want to worry about all that. But anyway, Super Draft Pro is a pretty cool thing. Y'all go check it out. Y'all can. It's one of those things where even if you're not in a state that allows DFS, you can still subscribe and play certain contests. It's only a limited amount of contests, but y'all can still play. And I would recommend y'all could probably just do the $20, like, and or if you're feeling like you want to play big and get in, and then do the $100. Like, if you're feeling like if you got,
yeah. Because then
because I
that's
mean,
when you start winning some real. I am
yeah,
gonna front.
exactly, yeah,
I'm
that's
not
when
gonna
you
front.
actually,
Like if you're gonna go subscription, if you're in a state, this is specifically for everyone that's in a state that's not legal, legal, right? Because this is their way around it. It's subscription based, so you're not playing cash games. You're playing for contests that you paid for already. So you know what I mean? And
yeah.
right. So that's their way around it. So with that said, this for all the people that are in states that they haven't been exposed to daily fantasy, like Clock, he was in Washington. He was juiced. He was like, oh snap, I get to play fantasy like they DFS.
Right,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
will say, the $100 is the way to go because that's when you win like some actual money. Because it's cool winning like $1 or 80 cents or you know what I mean, like when you get to the 100, you're always winning some coup dough. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm just,
Mm-hmm.
and here's another thing too. Um, the multipliers, it's a game changer. It's different because you can actually play if you're really strong on all the big name guys. You can play all the big name guys. You know what I mean? Like DraftKings and FanDuel, they salary based things. So
Yeah, it makes it to where it's like it's a more like you gotta be more. You can do all the favorites, but you also gotta be mindful of the multiplier stuff. So it makes it just more
exactly,
strategy. Yeah, more open
yeah,
strategy. So yeah, shout out to Super Draft Pro, also a partner of Caesars. Shout out to of
yeah.
course Caesar Sportsbook and for providing us with all the lines. And I actually had one more thing to say about the Bills Chiefs game, and I'm gonna end up. And y'all can call me crazy because I've been spouting a lot of overs in the. I'm going the over here. I'm thinking
Yeah,
Stallion and Mahomes go at it in a big way. It's going to be a fun shootout. I think there's going to be a shit pile of points put up on Sunday between Stafford and Brady, and then Mahomes and the Stallion. So I'm just going to say screw it and take the over. Although the thing I feel most confident about is the Bills with the money line. Bet 100 on the Bills to win 110. You walk out of there with $210. Cha-ching.
yeah.
Yep, Josh Allen, the Stallion, man. He got bogey endorsement and my endorsement. And honestly, I feel really good about this. Him and Rodgers, and we're both well, you would pick the Niners to cover, but you think the Packers are gonna win, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'd probably say if you're for those betting out there, y'all could maybe even consider a parlay with the Bills in Green Bay. Although you saying to bet the Niners against the spread.
Well, here's the thing.
I think our most confident pick, I'd say, I mean, we both had the Rams. We maybe parlay the Bills
like
and the Rams, but I would probably the Bills would be my best bet.
See,
they're the best
I'm
bet
betting,
out of all these games.
I do like parlays. What I would do is I would take if I'm going to do a smaller bet, like $50, hypothetically.
Yeah.
I take $50. I'm gonna go and parlay the the Bengals to cover the spread, and the Niners to cover the spread. Then I'll take the Bills money line, throw that in there too. You know what I mean? Those are the type of parlays I like to do. You know what I mean? But then say like I want to make I want some money that I feel really confident about, like a bet I feel really confident about. I'll take like $200 or $250, and I'm gonna go parlay all the ones that I really like, just money line, like Green Bay, Bills, you know what I'm saying, Rams, you know what I mean, just my favorites, you know what I'm saying, just some, because they might not pay, even though maybe the Rams one, I'll take that out of the question, because when I'm betting on, actually the Bills are the underdog here too. Yeah, that's a good bet actually. Those are the type of parlays I like. Even though Green Bay money line isn't much, when you throw it in a parlay, you know what I'm saying, it just juices it up just a tad bit more. You know what I mean?
Most definitely. And so that's our picks for y'all. So y'all, if y'all want to go ahead and bet, for those of my Louisiana people, y'all can go drive to Harrah's in Nola. Y'all can go drive to the La Berge in Baton Rouge. We got all kind of casinos around the southern region. And I think they even got one up north in Shreveport for y'all in North Louisiana. So y'all go.
And it's funny, in the area I live, like when you're in neighborhoods, they're all themed. You know what I mean? Like the street names. So where I'm at, there's Charlotte Street, Baton Rouge. It's all the Louisiana cities and shit.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, let's see here. Bogard's camera having a little issue, but he fell off. Damn. All right, well, we'll wait for him to come back, and until we do, I guess I'll just get to my rant. I'll get to my rant here. That's the last thing to talk about. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention about the if y'all wanted, that was all our picks for the week. So for those of y'all wondering what our picks were, we had said my pick was Titans against the spread and the over. Titans against the spread and the over. Bogard had the Bengals and the under. This 49ers Packer game, I had the Packers and the under. Bogard also had the under, but he believed the 49ers were going to cover the spread but lose the game. I got to give him credit. He was honest. He wasn't just a homer 49er fan. He actually was objective, although I do think I think the Packers are going to win by more than a touchdown, so I'm thinking they'll get it done. This Rams-Bucks thing, we got the Rams. We both had the Rams in the over, and then for this Bills-Chiefs, he had the under, I had the over, but we both had the Bills and Josh Allen, the Stallions. So looking forward to this week's worth of games, see how they all end up. And all right, you back, bro?
Yeah, let's get to this rant.
Oh, this rant, man. Whoo, boy, I was damn hot when I saw this shit today. Check this out, y'all. 2022 rankings came out for different websites, and normally, I look forward to early rankings. I'm actually going to drop some of my own probably after the Super Bowl, my way too early 2022s. But I always like to get a gauge on where the competition's at, especially the big boys like ESPN and such.
They ain't that big.
Right? Yeah, they ain't that big. I definitely ain't scared of them.
I'm a giant killer. I'm a giant slayer.
Right? Yep. Let's see. Let me just pull it up so I have the numbers right, because I literally was so bad that I X'd out. I rage quit. Like I couldn't even comprehend the blasphemy that I saw on my screen. And it had to do with the Packers backfield situation, because I was doing the show prep researching, Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon and all that. And he had Aaron Jones, a little lower. Who was the dude that did it? Mike Clay. Okay, Mike Clay. Okay. And we all have bad takes at times. I'm not trying to throw Mike Clay under the bus specifically. I'm just trying to throw under the bus but I feel like this is what separates us from the pack, is this this, I don't know what, it's just this, they don't think ahead. They just look, it's the mentality of just it's you got to project ahead in this fantasy business. I feel like that's what separates us, being able to project ahead and not being like, don't be radical, like saying like, I'm not saying that goddamn Trevor Lawrence is going to be a top 5 quarterback next year, but that's just an example of somebody that people are going to be way too down on for next year because they'll see his rookie and like, oh, that guy sucks, But you got to think ahead.
Here's the thing. Every year, the masses will look at what happened the year before and be like, that's happening again.
Yep. And check this out. And this
always do that.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? And they look at it. All right, it's the Packers back. We had Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon, and this is what pisses me off. He contradicts himself, bro. Check this shit out. Check this shit out. I'm gonna do the screen share here. I'm gonna do that. Do the screen share so y'all can see this crap. I mean, this is just like unfreaking believable. I mean, he even acknowledged that Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon were close right here. He acknowledged they were close. If I can get this to work.
What's the rank? What's the ranking they got on Jones?
31st overall.
That's stupid.
31st. Oh yeah, that's too high.
He's like at least in the teens, like 18, 19.
You think he's that high?
Okay, no. Listen, if I'm looking at projections in the offseason, I'm considering the guys.
Oh yeah, this is the full list. This is the full list, by the way.
I'm thinking the guys are playing all year, right? Because
this is another disgrace. Najee, not even top 12. Najee's my RB2 right now. I got Najee ahead of all. The only one I have ahead of Najee right now is JT.
The situation, we don't know the situation though. That's the thing.
I'm assuming the situation will gotta be better than this year. I mean, Big Ben was a decrepit piece of crap.
But you know what though? He would pepper Najee.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, kind of like Breeze with Kamara, and Kamara's numbers did. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay.
So that's
why I like having you on, Bogard, because you bring up good points like that. I was a little too high on Najee, but I feel like he should be higher than this. He should definitely be in the top 6. I feel.
I think he's a top 12 guy easily.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, this is way too low. Yeah, and Javonte should be higher than this. I feel like because Gordon ain't coming back. Javonte. I feel like should be a little higher.
So the way I view Javonte is, man, like I think people are gonna pull him up too high, but I could easily change my tune depending on what coaching staff or coaching regime gets there. Because if it's like, say it's Dan Quinn gets the job, and like now we're talking about who the quarterback is, right? Let's just imagine, it's quarterback A or whatever, right? Whoever it is, right? Which is just that that's not part of the conversation, right? But so you hire Dan Quinn and he does something like bring Darrell Bevel on as his OC because they were together in Seattle before. You know what I mean? Like a lot of coaches do stuff like that. You know what I mean? So then I'd be all about Javonte Williams. I'd be like, hell yeah.
Right. Yeah. And that's why a lot of this early 2022 is way too early because we don't even know what coaches are going to happen. But yeah, let me get to my original rant. Sorry, y'all, we keep stalling it. But all right, I'm ready to let it out.
Yeah, let it go. Let it all out.
Check this bullshit out. Okay, Aaron Jones, 31st RB20. And the dude acknowledges here, Elliott and Jones might seem low, but Tony Pollard and AJ Dillon are only going to play more and more. So I was like, all right, well, I wonder where he has AJ Dillon. He's probably not too far down, right? Probably in the 40s somewhere, maybe the 50s. No. Let's see. All right, here we go. He's got to be here, right? Nope. He's got to be in the top 100, right? Oh, there he is. 104.
AJ Dillon.
That boy is smoking crack. 104 for AJ Dillon, RB36, bro. He put up very similar numbers to Jones this year. Guess what's going to happen next year? He's going to put up better numbers than Jones. It's going to be his backfield by the second half of the year. How could you possibly have this dude ranked 73 spots, if my math's right, 73 spots below Jones? Like, what? I mean, what kind of shit is that? I mean, that's unfucking believable. I'm sorry.
Hey, listen,
I was
man.
like,
Who is this? This Mike Clay?
blown away
I
by
tell you,
that crap.
ESPN sucks.
Yeah, Mike Clay. It's so bad, bro. Holy crap.
You know, how come they
Let's
can't
do
give
it
us?
again. Let's do it again. Aaron, AJ Dillon 104. Aaron Jones 31st. Where's AJ Dillon? He can't be too far down, right? Nope.
You know what's stupid?
He's got to be here, right? Oh, there he is. 104.
What I don't get,
Holy crap.
what I don't get is like he's the way his rankings look on both those running backs. He's making it seem like they can't run the ball with Aaron Rodgers, or
Okay, maybe he's assuming Jordan Love's going to be the quarterback.
I was just about to say that
would make a little more sense, but still, why are you assuming that? Like,
you know, those okay. If it's Jordan Love, I would rank those guys higher because I would feel like both those guys would get 20 touches each because they wouldn't trust Jordan Love. They would just try to run like shit every 1-2 punch it. You know what I mean?
And then Dylan's gonna really eat at that point. It's gonna be old school, like LaFleur's just gonna lean on the run, lean on Dylan.
Yeah,
like.
I mean, here's the thing.
And I see this. You know, we talk about Derrick Henry, Dion Lewis. That's what I think it's good. I think AJ Dillon, Aaron Jones is gonna become Dion Lewis, and that's. I'm not trying to slight Aaron, but I just think I just think Dylan's the superior talent.
You know what sucks, man, is like the more and more it goes by, like I don't want Aaron Rodgers to leave now. Like they play with the idea that like
I don't know if he will. I think it's kind of like 50-50 at this point.
I mean, like here's the thing.
Was like I was saying like 80-20.
He has the
but
defense.
As the years gone on, the more and more I'm like, well, maybe he might stay.
I mean, because he says on McAfee that he's mended a lot of those relationships, like
right, yeah, and he seems pretty sincere when he goes on McAfee.
Yeah,
so it's like
he curses up a storm, so that that's pretty. Sincere.
Yeah, he definitely feels comfortable on that platform. He hates all the mainstream stuff. So when he goes on McAfee, it's like he's just
what I love
him and AJ Hawk's on there too. He feels comfortable around them. Yeah.
You know what I love the most is like when they do the book club shit, because like for people that hate Aaron Rodgers, they won't look at that segment like he's just he's actually an intellect. He likes to read books.
Yeah, he's kind of like Andrew Luck in that regard, except as far as like Andrew Luck, like super humble, and then Rodgers total opposite, super outspoken.
Here's the thing too, is Andrew, I mean, he respects the hell out of Andrew for sure. Right. But
I'm sure there's a lot of respect between those two because they're both Cali kids. You know, Rodgers went to Berkeley, Luck went to Stanford. I mean, both really smart cats. I mean,
Rodgers he played at Cal though too. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Cal Berkeley.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you did say that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then here's another thing too is when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, right? Like. If people hate on him, they'll look at that book club segment as like, he's so pretentious. You know what I mean? He thinks he's better than people. Like he's reading books like Find Yourself books, and you know what I mean? Like,
he kind of reminds me of like the Beatles, like George Harrison and John Lennon type, especially like John Lennon. More like John Lennon, honestly, because John Lennon was so outspoken about stuff.
Yeah.
He had a lot of haters. That's kind of like with Rodgers.
I like that. I like that because I'm a big fan of the Beatles, especially John Lennon.
Oh yeah, same. That's actually my computer background right now. The Beatles rooftop concert.
Yeah, hell yeah. You know what's my joint? Don't Let Me Down.
Oh they performed that on the roof.
Yeah, on the rooftop.
Was awesome.
The best version of it, the best recorded version to listen to is the version they did on the rooftop.
I know. I'll say I prefer the live version better than the studio version. Yeah.
Yeah, the studio version's ass.
Yeah, the live version is way better. Yeah, because John just had like that passion. Yeah. Oh man, that shit was so dope, man. Oh, what? Yeah, him and George, man. I mean, that's like no disrespect to Paul, but to me, Paul is overrated. George and John are the two great Beatles. Like they carried the Beatles, those two.
Yeah.
I mean,
Off
Paul
top.
was a great singer, but a lot of his songs are just too popish for me. I mean, I just felt like George and John are just like they had that deep, like real deep, like you can feel it in your soul. Like their songs are just like
Like Hey Jude.
they hit, man. Yeah, that
Hey
was
Jude.
Paul. That was Paul actually. Yeah,
Yeah. See
that was
that
one
one.
of Paul's. Yeah, Paul
No,
had his
that's
moments.
one of
Paul
the.
was
No, I was just about to say that's one of the only ones that like Paul like really killed to me.
Oh yeah, I'll say yeah. Paul had his moments. Yeah, he just had too many of those, like the "She loves you," yeah, and
Yeah.
all that kind of junk. Yeah, too many of those.
Yeah,
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 yeah. I like that the early Beatles, which I mean, it's all right, but it's like it's
I
not
mean, you could
anywhere
tell when
close
Paul wrote the
to
song.
John and George. Like those two, man, they had some deep ass, especially when they went to India with the gurus and shit. Like, and they did the Sergeant Peppers. Oh my gosh, that shit was. Wow, we need to do a Beatles podcast.
Yeah, we should.
Or just a music podcast in general at some point. I have a pretty wide taste in music, so
I'm with it, bro. I love it
nice.
all,
We'll have
man.
to we'll have to put that in the back burner. Yeah, we'll have to do that at some point.
Hey,
But
here's I wanted to
actually
rant. I wanted to
okay,
rant
can I
about
do
something.
okay, sweet. I was
Oh
like,
no,
can
go
I
ahead,
do,
go ahead.
I was like, I had a part 2 of this rant actually,
Yeah, I
if
want
you
to hear
don't
the
mind.
part 2.
Okay, yeah, part 2 is I was like, all right, so I rage quit ESPN, right? And I went to Walter Football. Have you ever heard of Walter Football?
Nah.
Oh, you haven't heard of Walt? Okay, yeah.
Sounds like a guy I'd want to fight.
Yeah, he's kind of a jerk, I'll be honest. I'm not a huge fan of his, but I do like that sometimes his takes are different. You know, and he rails against ESPN. I'm with him on that. He's actually an independent guy. I mean, he's a tad arrogant, but I mean, I do fuck with him a lot of times. Like he gives a lot of outside the box takes. But this I couldn't. I rage quit him too because he did his early 2022 fantasy ranks. And you're not gonna believe this is quarterbacks. I was like, well, I wonder what he's thinking about quarterbacks because normally he has some like kind of like off the wall stuff, controversial stuff. And I was like, I kind of like that with him. You know, let's take a look here. We'll pull it up and see. All right, let's take a look at his quarterback rank. Because I was like, I wonder how his top 5 is. I was like, I wonder if how high he's got like Burrow and Herbert, you know, they're gonna be in their 3rd year. I wonder if because he usually tries to think ahead. Like, I wonder if he's got those guys up there. So I see, all right, Allen. All right, it's Sharon, right? Okay, it's like Allen, you know, Allen, Mahomes. I was like, Lamar, that's a little high. And then I saw Herbert. I was like, okay, so he does have Herbert in the top 5. Makes sense. He finished top 5. And I was like, Deshaun Watson. I was like, well, that's interesting.
You know, I mean,
we don't know where he's gonna go, but I mean,
yeah,
that's kind of. That's really a hot take.
I mean, that's like it's like, does he know something we don't know? You know what I mean?
I don't think he does. I think he's hoping that he'll end up in a good spot.
You know what the GM said? You know what the GM said? Houston this week they said that Deshaun Watson's not gonna. You know, we're probably not gonna see him play as a Texan ever again.
Yeah, so that's probably good. That's good because then he'll get to be with a better situation, hopefully. But it was like, all right, so Kyler, Rodgers, Russ. I was like, well, where is the mighty Joe Young? Where is Joe Burrow? I was like, well, he's got to be top 10, right? And I'm like, Brady and Stafford. I'm like, what? I was like, how is Burrow not top 10, the number 1 quarterback with PFF? I'm not a PFF truther, like, but I will admit that they do some good stuff, and like Burrow is an elite quarterback. So like, all right, well, where is Burrow?
I am a PFF truther.
Yeah, you were talking about that, bro. Oh yeah, this is Walt, by the way.
And like, I don't like this rank. I don't like this ranking.
Yeah, he look like he kind of had a punchable face.
Hey, you know what I had Burrow as? You know what I had Burrow ranked as? I had him at 6. I think that's where he finished, right? Overall. Well, I had him. This is fantasy. I had him 6.
Yeah. You called that for sure. Because check this out. All right, so we got Dak Prescott. I was like a little on that, but this is where I lost my shit and had to rage quit him too. Kirk fucking Cousins ranked ahead of Joe Cool. Kirk fucking Cousins. Burrow 14.
I mean,
the disrespect to he's the young GOAT right now. Burrow should be top 5 in all 2022.
Is this reality rankings or is this fantasy?
This is fantasy.
Okay.
This is fantasy. He's got Joe Burrow 14th. I rage quit at that point. I think this is bullshit.
I don't agree with it, but here's where I'll make a case for it. What did Kirk Cousins go over 4,000 again this year? Because he's
I
always
don't
at least.
think he did because he missed that game with COVID. He would have. Or, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Because he's normally at least going for 4,000. Wow.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, but he's not. He's probably not going to be a Viking next year.
Well, he still has one more year with them.
Well, they said it's a new regime that they're probably going to move on.
I would love that. Because then, like, Kirk Cousins it becomes interesting now for Kirk Cousins. I would say Najee would be number 2 overall if they got Kirk Cousins in Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? I would say if Kirk Cousins ended up in Carolina, like, seems a top 5 guy at minimum. You know what I mean?
Yep, and he ends up in Denver. That would help Javonte.
Woo!
They say in Denver's right now the most likely landing spot.
You know what?
Because they've got the money and the draft capital to get it.
And them motherfuckers was interested in Kirk Cousins when he was the hot free agent a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's probably where he ends up, honestly.
Historically, that's what they do anyway.
Yeah, but it's just Denver. I mean, but the point is that Kirk Cousins, where any of those spots we name, there's no way he's finishing over Joe Burrow. I'm just putting that out there.
No,
there's no way. Now, it might not be quite as outrageous as the ESPN bullshit with Jones and Dillon, but that was pretty freaking bad. I was like, how could you have?
Yeah, I mean, I see
and Deshaun Watson in the top 5. Like, we don't even know where he's gonna play.
You know what? Okay, how about this? Do you think Deshaun Watson would think the Eagles is appealing now that they're a playoff team? In a bad division, basically.
Yeah, I was like, well, yeah, they'd have to trade. I guess Hurts then would go to the Texans.
This is why I say this, because the Eagles have 3 first-round picks next year, and and the Texans, they're gonna deal him, and it's a no trade clause in his contract, so it would take him to agree to go there. That's why I'm saying, do you think Deshaun Watson would view the Eagles now? Because before he was like, I'll go to Miami, but he wanted to go with Brian Flores. He's not there. You know what I mean?
I think Sirianni's a rising coach. I think he'd probably approve a trade to there. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And they might be able to pull that off. Send them Hurts in a first. Like that could work.
It would have to be like they're gonna want all 3 of them first.
Yeah, I say 2. Yeah, Hurts 2 first, and then a couple day 2 picks.
Yeah, okay, that's more realistic. Hurts 2 first.
Because then second and a third or whatever. Yeah, basically Hurts 2 first.
They got the 3rd pick overall.
Day 2s, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I want to rant.
Yeah, well, all right, let's get to your rant. Let's get to your rant. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Because then I got to get out of here.
He's a rant.
I can't stand motherfuckers after the season that take all these victory laps like they called hella shit, and they don't never call nothing, and they can't never show no receipts.
All right, facts, bro. They got all these accounts out there, man. Everybody and their mama acts like they called Jamar Chase and all these ones. It's like, man, what are you talking about? And y'all the same motherfuckers.
And that's so obvious too.
And they're wanting to crucify Chase because of his drops in the preseason, and now they're praising him.
Like,
or they want to say, I called Burrow. Burrow. I said he would do what.
You know what? How about this too?
Austin Eckler.
Every single one of these motherfuckers out there that was like, fade Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon what? Oh, you think he gets hurt? And boom, Joe Mixon, top 5. I say he was going to be one of the best values. Him in the 3rd round. Montgomery in the 4th round. We're talking like 12-team redraft type shit. Those were the guys. Like I had those were a lot of my teams. Was Mixon, Montgomery. You know what I mean? And it's so funny because those people, they never could tell you why. You know what I mean? And now those people won't show up and be like, oh, I was wrong about Joe Mixon. And most people, they say anyone who was off Saquon this year, it's like, yo, he was hurt all year. You know what I mean? But they want to take all the victory laps. And what's funny? It's so easy to fade Saquon this year. He's coming off ACL on a bad team. On a bad team. Oh, you called it. Oh, they get
Yeah, I
hurt.
mean, I'll just say it is. I'm secure enough in my rankings. Y'all can go look back and see my receipts. I mean, I don't need to take victory laps and all that bullshit. I mean, I'm good. I mean, I know what I know.
Hey, listen.
And
Here's another thing too.
my people want a lot of ships and a lot of money, so it's all good. The
Exactly.
Guru Nation is set. We don't need to beat our chest and take victory laps. I mean, we're
And
good, man.
you
We
know
got
what,
our
Doc?
money. We're chilling.
Here's one thing I
We're just talking our shit on podcasts now and stuff. We don't have to worry about doing these little TikToks and bullshit saying, I called you Martin. I told you. Yeah. Like, that's what they look like, bro. They look like little kids on this TikTok. And then they have that stupid ass voice that goes, the top 5 wide receivers in the NFL. And then they they do their shit. It's so cringy. It's so bad. Oh my God.
I mean, I don't know, man. People like being sheep.
Yeah, and TikTok is the perfect
and
bring
be
the
aware.
sheep.
Be
TikTok is
aware of the
basically
false
sheep.
herders. Be
Yeah,
aware
yeah.
of these
Oh
false
yeah.
herding motherfuckers.
TikTok's a breeding ground for that shit, y'all. I'm telling y'all, man. They want me to get on TikTok. I keep resisting, and honestly, like I'm kind of like with TikTok. I kind of feel like the way Rogers does with the vaccine. I just keep resisting it, and I don't care what the mainstream has to say.
I know, me too, man. Because you know what's funny too is like, even my girl's like, she's like, I'm surprised you never made a TikTok yet. And I'm like, you know what's crazy?
Yeah,
too,
I've had
like,
people tell me that too, because I sometimes think, well, maybe I could make one for content, but I just feel like I don't know the kind of content I like to produce. Just to me,
like,
is above TikTok.
Hustler was like, he's like, I made a TikTok and it's like I just chop clips of the shows and I put them on there. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like, but
yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
but I mean, motherfuckers,
so
they on there because they want to do trending shit. You know what I mean? Like,
right, yeah, that's why I hate that bullshit where they sit up there, they have some background, and it has that I don't know what that voice is. It's like this, like it's just the generic voice on there or whatever. It's like
it's just whatever. It's just a trend. Whatever's trending, everyone's using it. The same shit.
Yep. Yep. It's so unoriginal. I think that's what pisses me off about it. Because I'm the type of person like I pride myself
I
on
get
trying
it.
to.
It's a generational thing. That's why that's why I feel like you have an old soul because it is your generation that's like hella on TikTok, right?
Yeah, and that's why I get like I've had a lot of people like, how are you not on
when
it?
you
Because
see
I'm
these
the
old guys
I
on
just
TikTok,
like
when I see some of these fantasy analysts, like some of these old guys, and they on TikTok, it's hella funny, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like y'all too old for that shit. Yeah, if I got on it, I mean, if anything, you finally got TikTok, I wouldn't, but it's because it's kind of like my generation shit. But yeah, then they have people, a lot of the guys like that are like even like the old people, and then they like and they want to act like they're cool because of it or whatever. They're hip because they're on TikTok, and it's like, man, y'all just I don't know. But anyway,
hey, listen, man, I'm on money. That's
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you know
I'm about making money. I'm trying to look at good shit. Actually, speaking of that, all right, that's out of my closing statement is I'm going to shout out an inspirational person, an account that really is like the big dog, man. Big Dog's Got to Eat. Shout out to Nick from Big Dog's Got to Eat, man. I watched his video today about how he's planning to grow his business, take it to the next level. That shit was inspiring, man. That really
you know what's cool
helped open my eyes to realize, man, I could really this Guru Nation shit. This is a business in the making. Y'all sleep now. Y'all sleep now, and then if y'all want to wake up later, then okay, but don't expect to don't expect to get A1 treatment because I know the people that have been rocking with me since day one. Those are the ones that I'm gonna be rocking with still.
And you know what's crazy?
I'm not gonna switch up.
I want to say it might have been the 2017 off season. Maybe 2017 off season, maybe even 2016 is when I first found Big Dog's Gotta Eat on YouTube. You know what I mean? And I was just like, I like the way he broke shit down.
Yeah, he breaks shit down in a manner that makes sense and
you know what's
easy
funny
to
is
understand. He's not trying to bullshit you.
His calls suck though. Like it's funny because his calls suck, and he says it all the time. You know what I mean? But
yeah, he's transparent at least. I mean, because a lot of calls suck. I mean, I have calls that suck.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not perfect.
But that's why he's dope though, is because
he owns shit. Yeah, he doesn't worry about taking victory laps. While all these low lives are taking victory laps, he's out here trying to build his business, and that's the same on mine. I don't care about taking victory laps. I'm strategizing for the future. I'm trying new stuff like this live, like first ever first ever live. You know, I'm trying new stuff. I could be taking victory laps right now. This hour and almost 2 hours that we've been on, I could be making TikTok videos saying
Hey,
I
you know how
called
you
this or
gotta do it?
that, but
You know how you
we're
gotta do it,
just on
Spencer?
here. Yeah.
You know how you be doing the mock drafts. Now you could do it on live, and then when you're telling people that's on the gram, you know what I'm saying, you just get them. You just go to the links in the bio. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Get everybody to your channel, because you're gonna be able to grow your channel fast, bro. Because you got a loyal following on IG.
Oh yeah, they're
You
gonna
gotta
come.
transfer
Yeah,
them over.
I didn't promote it a whole lot, but I kind of did that on purpose. I didn't want a real big audience for my first show. I just wanted to keep it kind of light, and then I'll chop some clips and post them on the gram later on. But yeah, this is a good time, Bogey. I think this is about time to put a bow on this thing. Let people know where they can find you.
Hey, you can find me at the GMM Network on IG, and you can subscribe to the GMM Network on YouTube. We doing FNT every day. That's Fantasy News Today. We go live every day, 4:05 p.m. East Coast time, and yeah, man, we do the Playmakers show every Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. East Coast time. You know, Spencer is basically one of our hosts on that show.
Yeah, I've been going on a lot lately.
Yeah.
I've been hustling. I'm invited every week for the circle. And I know y'all always down the playmakers. Like shoot, I might as well just be one of the hosts. I love doing that with y'all.
Yeah, right. My bad. My back. I went into the
Time.
Matrix for a second.
Oh no, yeah, we can still hear you.
Yeah. So
yeah, y'all go follow
I mean,
at the GMM Network on it's all platforms. You're at the GMM Network, right?
Yeah, and per usual, the earth is my turf, and universe give me money. You know what I'm saying? Go Niners.
Oh, yeah.
Go Niners.
Right.
Somehow, some way, don't mess it all up. Because like it would be like, and then you know what people say? They'll be like, oh, he never can beat the Niners and thing. There's the first time for everything. That's why I feel like this might be the end of the road.
Yeah, well, I'll be rooting for him. I mean, I'm not a big Packer guy. I mean, I'm definitely gonna. This is who I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for the Rams, the Niners, because I like to see a Rams-Niners match, and then I'm rooting for the Bills and the Bengals. I like to see the mighty Joe Young clash with the Stallion.
I like that. I like your version.
Yeah. Hopefully it works out. But anyway, we'll catch y'all on the flip side, Guru Nation. Appreciate y'all rocking with us tonight, and y'all can also check us out. We're gonna have this archive. Y'all can check it out later because it is the Guru Nation podcast. So we kept it a lot like a podcast, but we'll be expanding on it. We'll have more interactive stuff for those in the chat and all that. And then we'll catch y'all on the flip side. Peace.